big part of that. The benefits for developers are a bit weird. My personal opinion, there are a few benefits for developers directly because it just makes their setup more complicated, right? They don't just need to develop for the origin, they also need to develop for the CDN, and they need to keep things in check. They need to think about caching setups and how that works distributedly. So it's more complex from that perspective, but it's less complex than having to do a fully scalable setup yourself on, let's say, something like AWS. So that's it can make it less complex from that perspective. You just shift the complexity to a different system, right? That's pure CDN. If you then talk about things like, say, Cloudflare Workers, or people can easily sign up, and especially things like Cloudflare Pages, right, where you can very easily host a website and get like an automated build process going and that kind of stuff. That's like the third wave of CDN where we're now moving towards, right? So you had performance and caching, then you had security, and now more and more CDNs are becoming more like cloud services directly, right? Or more and more competing with things like AWS, Azure. In terms of Akamai, we do this very directly, right? We have our own Akamai cloud now, very similar to what those have. Cloudflare is still a bit more, I think, hybrid in the middle. You have cloud-esque things that you can do.
You have what? What did you say you have? I didn't catch the last part.
Oh, okay. So with Cloudflare, you have more like it's not a full cloud, but you have cloud-esque things like Workers, like Pages, like I just said. They have durable, what are they called? Durable objects or something like that.
Yeah, durable objects.
So things you would typically do in a cloud, you can also do within the CDN platform. So it's becoming more and more of a singular platform that does all those things in slightly different ways depending on the company. But like I said, for me, that's a third wave of CDN, and that is where I do think a lot of benefits for the developers come into, right? Because then you're no longer having to maintain two completely separate systems. Everything is part of this one contiguous thing. You have your performance, you have your security, and you have your origin, your application logic, all in the same platform. I think that has the ability to simplify things massively. But we're not there yet, right? I think this phase has now fully started. We're well in there, but it's definitely not to the point where you say I can do everything very easily with this one singular platform and everything just works as you would imagine. You are still seeing this with companies like Vercel and Netlify.
Yeah.
Right. They are trying to offer that kind of service, in my